Namaste, Kumarji.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste.
Hey, Mama.
Namaste. Namaste.
Hey, Uma. Namaste, everybody.
Start with 3 ohms. Please take a deep breath. Suprabhatam, Namaste, Namo Namaha, depending on where you are. Just one second. So, we start on chapter 3, Vibhuti Pada today. In the last chapter, we started on Ashtanga Yoga. So we covered the first 4 steps of Ashtanga Yoga: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, and Pratyahara. There is a reason why Patanjali held off on the other 3. I might have mentioned this 2 weeks back, or 3 weeks back rather, when we discussed this. So the Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the higher levels of Ashtanga Yoga. So that's why he held off on that. And they are also more internal based. We will see that as we go along. So he held off on that. He did speak about the first 5: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, and Pratyahara. So how do we understand the first five? Here, if you look at Yama and Niyama, he is given 5 in each, the important aspects in 5 in each of them. In Yama, he says 5 things, and Niyama also he has said 5 things. Out of these 5, in Yama, if you look at it, let me go back, I can scroll back so that you can see.
Good morning, Kumarji.
Yes.
Kranti,
What's that?
Kranti here.
Yes, Kranti.
Do you want me to chant or I'll?
Yeah, I will give this introduction and then we'll go into chanting. Give me
Okay.
about 5 minutes, okay?
Sure.
Thank you. So he says here, if you look at Sutra 230, Ahimsa Satya Asteya Brahmacharya Aparigraha. So we know the meaning of each one of them. Ahimsa, we know, non-violence. Satya, speaking the truth. Asteya, not stealing. Aparigraha, not accumulating. And Brahmacharya is that curiosity to know. The curiosity to know. Not just how to invest, how to make money, not those kinds of materialistic things, but that which does not belong to this world, not worldly things, things that are not in the domain of this materialistic world, that which are outside. Where have I come from? Why did I come? Things of that nature. So that is Brahmacharya. So out of these 5, if you see, the Brahmacharya is the most important thing. Not that the others are not important. If you have to pick one, then Brahmacharya is what you will pick, because that without that curiosity and without that inquiry into that curiosity, because you are going to, moment that curiosity comes in, you are going to inquire. So without that, you are not going to go forward. You are not going to evolve. So Brahmacharya is the most important thing. Similarly, if you take Niyama, see Sutra 232, Shaucha, Santosha, Tapaha, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidanat. So Shaucha is cleanliness, Santosha is the contentment, Tapaha is tapas, meditation, to burn away all our kleshas and karma. Swadhyaya is self-study, reflection, all that. Ishvara Pranidhanat. What is Ishvara Pranidhanat? Anyone?
Surrender to God. Surrender to Ishvara.
Surrender to Ishvara, surrender to God, surrender to the unmanifest divine. So if you have to pick one here, what will you pick out of the 5?
Surrender to Ishvara.
Surrender to Ishvara. Ishvara Pranidhanat is what you will pick out of the 5. So just with Brahmacharya, the inquiry, and with the surrender to the divine, that is what Patanjali says, that you can get into the state of samadhi. So with the yama and niyama itself, you can get into the state of samadhi. Meaning, Ishvara Pranidhanat. What is the meaning of Ishvara? Surrender to the divine. What is the meaning of surrender to the divine? Uma, what is surrender to the divine?
Worshipping the unmanifest divine without asking for anything.
Then what else? What does that mean? Anyone can.
Just
comment.
going with the cosmic flow.
Going with the cosmic flow. Yes. Going with the cosmic flow means what?
Experience the karmas and pleasures.
Yes. Experiencing the karma without questioning.
Without question.
So if you are going to experience the karma without questioning, where is the pain? Where is the suffering? There is no suffering, right?
Zero.
There is no suffering.
Zero.
Pain will come.
No
That's what
suffering.
they say, right? Pain will come to anybody. But suffering is optional. Suffering is what we choose.
We choose.
Because of our kleshas, we suffer. If we don't have the kleshas, then we won't suffer. With me, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So, Ishvara Pranidhana, if there is full surrender to the divine, to the unmanifest divine, not only you won't ask anything, but you will just go with the cosmic flow and you will experience all the karmas without questioning. Then there is no suffering. If you don't want to suffer, here is the solution. Okay. So, what you also have to understand here is, so just with the yama and niyama, one can attain the highest level of connectivity. I mean, you can get to samadhi state. So having said that, what is the samadhi on the path to samadhi state as we go through this Ashtanga Yoga? What is that is going to happen to us? So that is what he is going to describe in Vibhuti Pada, the chapter 3. Here, Patanjali is going to talk about some extraordinary things. So be ready. He is literally going to take us on a nice, beautiful journey. So relax and enjoy the journey. Take everything in fully. And we will move on to chapter 3, Vibhuti Pada. So each chapter is named appropriately, as you can see, right from chapter 1. Chapter 1 is named Samadhi Pada because he describes all the things about Samadhi there, right? Everything that can lead, all the various steps, different states before we get to Samadhi. He describes everything there. So that is why it is called Samadhi Pada. The next chapter that we just finished is called Sadhana Pada. How do you get to Samadhi? What are the sadhanas? So that's what he explains.
Yama and niyama.
Sadhana Pada, yes. The Ashtanga Yoga, yes, prescribed. So, Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti Pada, you have to split that into two words. V, standing for Visesha. Bhuti or Anubhuti. Anubhuti means perception. Perception. Visesha perception, special perception. Have you heard of this something called ESP?
No.
No. It's called extrasensory. I mean, I'm sure Meeraji would know. Not sure if she is here. She would.
I'm here.
Yes. Oh, you're here. Extrasensory perception. That's what it means. What is that extrasensory perception? Sensory perception we know. We look, we hear, we touch, we taste, we smell, all that we know. So extrasensory perception means that which is beyond this, that that which is beyond the senses, that which is beyond the sensory abilities. With me, people?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. There are people with that kind of ability, ESP. I had one friend, actually, her father was called Nambungal Narayanan. I don't know, maybe my sisters might remember that name, or people
Right.
from India.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Nambungal Narayan.
Mm.
Her father was Nambungal Narayan. Nambungal means believe me for Neeraj. Trust me or believe me. That's what that word in Tamil means. So his name was Narayanan. He was called Believe Me Narayanan, Nambungal Narayan. Now, the reason being, he could predict to a fair degree of accuracy what the future beholds. And since he was quite effective, many big people, I mean businessmen and others, consulted him on a regular basis. So I went to their house once. No. They were living in an apartment. It's not that they were living in a palatial house or whatever. They were living in an apartment in Ashok Nagar. But this was after I moved to USA, not before that. So I went to their house for lunch, I think, and then I was speaking to him, and then he proved he tried to give some examples of how he got this, how of his abilities, a few things he did and things like that. He asked me to imagine a number, and he came up with that number. Very amazing things he did, a few things. So then I asked him, he said because of ESP, extrasensory perception, he could do this. And he also told me, I said, how did you get this? Did you have it from the child, as a child? He said, no. Few years back, he fell off from the staircase and banged his head on the floor as he slipped and fell. And after that, he got this ESP. I do not know how long that ESP stayed with him. I don't even know if he's still alive or not. So that was my encounter with a person who had that ability. Hold on one second. I'm going to be right back. Just keep pondering of what I said. I'll be right back. Yeah, Hannah. Yes, Hannah. What do you want? Excuse me, sorry. My dog is a little restless this morning. So this extrasensory perception is what we are going to talk about. I mean, later in this chapter, that's what Patanjali is going to speak about. That extraordinary ability with which amazing things one can do. So that's why I said he's going to take us on a wonderful, lovely journey. Okay. So the first few sutras, he is going to talk about dhyana, dharana, samadhi, and then he is going to speak about the special abilities or siddhis, as we call them. Okay, people, ready?
Yes.
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 Any questions? Okay.
Nothing much.
With that, let's jump straight into the sutras, and I will have Kranti chant the sutras. Kranti, go ahead, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Om. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः। अथ विभूतिपादः देशबन्धः चित्तस्य धारणा तत्र प्रत्ययैकता नता ध्यानं तदेव अर्थमात्रनिर्भासं स्वरूपशून्यमिव समाधिः त्रयमेकत्र संयमः तज्जयात् प्रज्ञालोकः तस्य भूमिषु विनियोगः त्रयमन्तरङ्गं पूर्वेभ्यः तदपि बहिरङ्गं निर्बीजस्य व्युत्थाननिरोधसंस्कारयोः अभिभव प्रादुर्भावौ निरोधक्षणचित्तान्वयो निरोधपरिणामः तस्य प्रशान्तवाहिता संस्कारात् सर्वार्थतैकाग्रतयोः क्षयोदयौ चित्तस्य समाधिपरिणामः ततः पुनः शान्तोदितौ तुल्यप्रत्ययौ चित्तस्य एकाग्रता परिणामः एतेन भूतेन्द्रियेषु धर्म लक्षण अवस्था परिणामाः व्याख्याताः।
Thank you. Thank you, Kranti. I don't know how many of you paid attention. Starting in Sutra 311, 311, 312, etc. He's talking about Samadhi Parinamaha, Ekagrita Parinamaha. And prior to that, in 3.39, 310, 311, 3.9, he says Nirodha Parinamaha, Samadhi Parinamaha, Ekagrita Parinamaha. So this is what Dr. Rajan mentioned. I'm not sure if it was in the last class or the one prior to that. If you had closely listened to him, he mentioned this. Parinama means transformation, change, transformation. Anyway, when we get to that sutra, we'll discuss that. I just wanted to indicate that to you. We'll go back to Sutra 1. Vibhuti-pada. Desha-bandha chittasya dharana. So here, Desha. What does Desha means?
State, nation.
Generally, it means
Nation. Nation.
generally the meaning that normally we take as a nation or a country or whatever, more as a domain. Actually, the generic meaning for Desha is domain. So here it is not the country, it is the domain. Domain of what? Domain of the chitta. Desha bandha chittasya dharana. The chittasya means of the chitta, right? It is like saying Kumar's pen. Kumar's pen. So chittasya means chittas. So when the desha means the domain, when the here bandha means when the mind is bound into something. Bandha. Bandha we know. Bandha is thus attachment, right? So when the mind is bound into something, or here the bound is also that engrossment. When the mind is engrossed into something, instead of saying mind, we should really say the chitta. When the chitta is engrossed into something, that is called dharana. A very deep engrossment is what is called as, when the chitta is fully engrossed in that. That is what we call as dharana. We saw this in a very fleeting way in chapter 1 about all this. In a very quick way we saw this, and then later on in chapter 2 also we saw this in a very fleeting way. Here also he is giving one-liners. He will go deeper into this as we go along. Tatra, there, pratyaya. Pratyaya is being focused. Ekantanatha. 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 Dhyanam. So next he is defining what is dhyana. So dharana he has defined. Dharana is that focus, complete engrossment is dharana. Tatra pratyaya ekantanatha dhyanam. So here he is saying ekantanatha. Ekantanatha means the reaction or whatever appears like the same. In other words, what is coming out of it is oneness. That is the state of dhyana. Pratyaya, here in that focusing, from that focus, there is a reaction that comes out, right? When you are focusing, there is a reaction that comes out of that. And that reaction is really what is bringing out the reaction is actually what's coming out of that reaction is really oneness. Meaning everything else is pretty much subdued. Whatever you are focusing on is all that you see, nothing more. So that's what he says is dhyanam. Meaning, basically meaning the chitta has become quiet. With me?
Yes.
Okay. Everyone seems to be in dhyana, everyone is quiet. And, okay. Tad eva arthamatra nirbhasam swarupa shunyam iva samadhi. So samadhi, we already saw what samadhi is all about in chapter 1, right? Where we said, in going back to Sutra 17, let's go all the way. So that let's understand the connection. Vitarka vichara ananda asmita anugamat sampranyatah. Right? Vitarka
Yes.
vichara ananda asmita anugamat sampranyatah. So the sampranyatah, that is that wisdom.
Complete wisdom.
This wisdom is coming from where? It is coming from above, from the cosmos, from the connectivity to the divine, that wisdom is coming. How is it coming? Vitarka vichara ananda asmita. That's how it is coming. Vitarka, that is questioning. Yes. Vichara is reflecting. Vitarka vichara. Ananda, in that letting go. Asmita is you experience. Experience the, what do you experience? You are experiencing the wisdom. That is what you are experiencing. Anugamat is actually flow. From all this, what flows is the wisdom. That's what it means. So that's what we are going to connect here. So this is the state of samadhi. Samprajnata is the state of samadhi. Hold on 1 second, please. Sorry. Okay. I'll go down. Sorry, my apologies for the interruption.
Okay, Kumarji.
Okay.
So, let's go back to the sutra. So the samprajnata is the state of samadhi. And that's what we are seeing here in Sutra 3. Tad eva artha matra nirbhasam swarupa shunyam iva samadhi. So he's saying tad meaning there. Eva is indeed. Artha is meaning. Matra is alone. Nirbhasam is dissolve or disappear. Nirbhasam means dissolve or disappear, or experience, in other words, experience it in a special way. Swarupa Shunyam, as if there is nothing. Swarupa is form, Shunyam is nothing. So, the no form, nothing. Eva. Eva is as if. Is samadhi. This is samadhi. So now we are seeing samadhi from a different angle. There in 117 we saw samadhi as that wisdom coming in through the connectivity. Now we are seeing samadhi as if there is no form, nothing, it's shunyam. With me, people?
Yes.
Yes, Kumarji. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
In Sutra, okay. So basically he is saying, as if by completely voiding the form, I'm reading the notes here, the bottom, in his notes, as if by completely voiding the form, the experience of that inner understanding alone is samadhi. So when we say as if by voiding the form is voided on its own. It's not that we go and erase it. The form is voided on its own. The experience of that inner understanding alone is samadhi.
Because of the experience of the inner understanding, the form goes away, is it?
From dharana, when you move into dhyana, in that letting go, the form also is gone. I mean, these are all not strictly compartmentalized, so there will be an overlap.
Okay.
You're actually, how you should take this, you are placing a question and then you are letting go. You are letting go of the question, and then the experience, then the answer to that question comes as an experience. So the form in itself, there is nothing over there. This is not that you are focusing on a form and saying give me this, give me that. No, it's not that. You have a question. So even if you look at the notes for 3.1, it says binding in one place of the chitta is dharana. That's what you said. Desha bandha. There with oneness in conviction is dhyana. Ekantanatha. That is oneness in conviction. Tatra pratyaya ekantanatha adhyanam. So in in the Sutra 1, somewhere in 1, let me see here. 133, yeah, 148. Sutra 148. He says, Rithambara tatra prajna. Rithambara tatra prajna. Fully engrossed. Rithambara means Bhara. Fully engrossed is Bhara. Ritham means cosmic flow. Rithambara is fully engrossed in the cosmic flow. Comes the prajna, that wisdom. So he gave another definition. I mean, if you see all this, they are all similar definitions, but giving from different angles. Shall we move on?
So engrossment is the key word.
Dharana, yes, dharana, that's where you start. That's where you start. Trayam ekatra samyamaha. Trayam, the threefold. Trayam means threefold. Ekatra, becoming one, is samyamaha. What is that ekatra, becoming one? The dharana, dhyana, samadhi, becoming one piece, is samyamaha. It's coining a new term called samyamaha. This is what Dr. Rajan, if you see, this is what he will do in those 3 seconds. You ask him a question, he'll close his eyes. He has done dharana, dhyana, samadhi. All three he has done. That is called samyama. Have you seen this, Uma? Dr. Rajan doing?
Dr. Rajan.
Yes,
No,
yes.
Kumarji, no. I have.
Oh,
In the last few sessions, when we ask questions, I don't know if he had to close his eyes to do that at all. So if there is some question for which he doesn't have a ready-made answer, he will just close his eyes. Maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds at the most, and then he will give you the answer. And he is not bringing that answer from his intellect. No. He is doing this samyama, dharana. So he is putting that question, formulating that question, then letting go of the question, and then he is experiencing the answer, and then he is giving you the answer. That is what is the first statement. Trayam ekatra samyamaha.
What is the meaning of samyamaha?
Dharana, dhyana, samadhi, all three put together. Actually, if you split the word samyamaha, it is samyak yamaha. Samyak yama. Yama is, what is yama?
yamas.
What is yama?
Yama, niyama,
Oh.
yamas.
Yeah, so what is yama? That's what I'm asking. Define yama. What people, you have forgotten?
One of the Nishtanga
Or
yogas.
non-violence, truth, non-stealing.
No, but yeah, I don't, yes, that is, yeah, but what defines yama? Yeah,
Ahimsa,
On your
Satya,
conscience.
Asteya.
The curiosity to know the
that is
of the
brahmacharya.
existence.
That is brahmacharya.
All
Being
put
true
together,
to conscience.
all the five.
True.
Yeah, somebody said conscience.
Being true to your conscience.
Correct, Shobha. So, living true to your conscience, the inner core of yourself. That's why we said all this, ahimsa, all that is very kind of subjective, right? Ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha, all that are subjective. Truth is not absolute. That's what we saw. I mean, saying satya is not absolute. What is necessary there? That which is in tune with your inner core. That is what is yama is all about. Being true to your conscience. Your conscience will tell you don't do this. But your friend is saying, no, invest. I am investing in that. And your conscience says don't, but you still invest. That is going against your conscience. That is not yama. So this is samyak yamaha. Samyak means
Best.
samyak means very good,
Best.
correct,
Very good. Correct.
all that. So this is the right samyama. So when your yama is very good, when you are in yama and when your yama is very good, when you are true to your conscience, you are not doing anything against your conscience, then this dhara dhyana samadhi will happen. Why it is not happening to us, Meena?
We are not in
We are not in.
true to my conscience.
Yeah, we are not true to our conscience. Uma, is it clear?
Yes, Kumarji, yes.
Yes, we do things which we should not be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We say yes when we have to say no.
Correct.
And we say no when we have to say yes. So when we are not whole meaning when we are not fully in tune with our inner core, this samyama will not happen, or it may happen in patches here and there. It's not that we are not in fully in touch with the core all the time. Maybe 5% here, 5% there, we are fully integrated. At that time, if you do this process, it might work. That is how our prayer works. So it's like gambling. Okay, shall we move on?
Yes.
Okay. Tat jayat prajna alokah. Tat, that, jayat, victorious, alokah is becoming enlightened. Prajna is that wisdom,
Wisdom.
that intuitive awareness, that is prajna. So tat jayat, what is this victory here? That victory, he says, that victory. Tat is that.
Prajna coming. That intuitive awareness.
That
Intuitive awareness is coming from that victory. What is the victory here?
samyamaha.
Samyamaha. That is the victory. When you can get into the state of samyama, when you can experience samyama, that is dharana, dhyana, samadhi is happening. That victory, what that victory brings? That victory brings enlightenment. Alokaha is enlightenment. Through this intuitive knowledge, that enlightenment is happening. So initially, all our kleshas have to go, right? So initial connectivity, and when the prajna comes, so little by little our kleshas are dissolved. When the kleshas go away fully, then that enlightenment sets in. Tasya bhumishu vinyogaha. Tasya of that. Bhumishu unfolds. What unfolds? Vinyogaha. So let's see. Yeah. Vinyogaha is a very special word. Yoga is to connect, right? Staying in that connectivity with the divine. In a that we have seen in chapter 1, the first 3-4 sutras we saw what is yoga. That is staying without those activations and things like that and being connected. So V stands for Visesha. Nikrishta or Nikrishta means in a subtle way. So in a very subtle way, this connectivity is happening, meaning it is bringing in all the very subtler things to you. What are the subtle? This is that ESP that I was. I mean, I gave you that ESP as an example, but this is ESP at a very, very high level. That's at a very low level. What I gave that example. This is at a very, very high level. Tasya bhumishu, from that unfolds very special connection, very special connectivity from where you can draw all the wisdom from above. So the bhumishu also you can take it as that whatever unfolds is in that sphere of what you are focusing on. If I am focusing on my past life, that is what will unfold. If I am focusing on something else about siddhis, that is what will unfold. So it is context oriented.
What we focus on.
Whatever question you are asking, it is going to be related to that. It is not going to be unrelated to that. That's what it means.
Okay.
Trayam, so we have 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes. Let me finish this off. Trayam antarangam purvebhyah. Trayam, these three. What these three?
Dharana, dhyana,
Samadhi.
samadhi.
So these three, antarangam. Antarangam, you know, in Tamil we have antarangam. Antarangam means inwards, inside,
Inside.
deep inside. Purvebhyah. Compared
Previous
to what we saw earlier in the earlier chapter, that is the first 5 we saw. Compared to that, this is deeper inside. The first 5 compared to that, this is Antaranga. That is why it is called Antaranga Yoga. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi is called Antaranga Ashtanga Yoga. The first 5, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara are called Bahiranga Ashtanga Yoga. Bahiranga Yoga or Bahiranga Ashtanga Yoga, whichever way you want to call it. Bahiranga, Bahi means outside, external. Tat api Bahirangam Nirbijasya. Tat api, that api also. Bahirangam. Bahirangam means external. Antarangam means internal. Bahirangam means external. Nirbijasya. Compared to Nirbija Samadhi, this is still external. This is still Sabija Samadhi because Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Right? We are having a seed. From that seed, we are getting it. Correct? The seed is the question.
Seed is the question.
So Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So this is Nirbija. So this is still external to, in the Nirbija Samadhi are always connected. Always connected. So there is no question of samyama there at all. So compared to nirbijasya samadhi, this is still external. That's all he's saying here.
Which is still
Maybe-
external.
The samyama process.
Mhm.
Because you need a seed, right? You need a seed. The seed is the question.
Otherwise, without asking itself, we will get the answer, is it?
No, the moment there's something arises, the answer will be there. Because you are connected all the time.
Connected all the time.
So on that note, we will finish today's class. We are out of time pretty much. So we'll start with Sutra 9 next week.
Thank you so much, Kumar.
Namaste.
Okay.
And starting Sutra 17, we will go into all the various special abilities, siddhis. For nearly 40 sutras, I think, close to 40 sutras, you will be discussing all the different siddhis. Any questions? Quick question I can take. 1 minute. Any questions? Everyone is clear.
Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste,
We'll see you
Kumarji.
next
Thank you.
Sunday. Namaste.